Welcome to BeoTalk number 365.
Full year.
Yeah,
7
one a
years
day
later.
for a year, and you're caught up.
And that's it.
Hope everybody's doing well. What were we doing? Here, go buy something.
Podcasting, hopefully.
Yeah, but we were talking about something completely different, and my mind kind of blanked.
Oh yeah, like way different.
Yeah, go buy something at Segrino. They have very nice stuff. Use the promo code for 10% off. Same goes for Skinny Play. We have links for that too. Especially if you're in Europe, you probably are a bit better off because they're in France.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think these prices are in USD, so it might be different in Euro because they may or may not be tariffed. I don't know what's tariffed anymore, so it's all strange.
yeah, it's a mess.
Two things that definitely aren't tariffed are buy Willie a coffee.
That's right. There's no tariff there.
He needs non-flavored coffee.
That's it. Hey,
I'll be monitoring this. If you have a question and a topic that you want a guaranteed answer to, put it in here. You can put in your own amount, whatever, it's fine. But it all goes to Willie. This is our super chats for the time being. So go and do that. And the other thing that definitely isn't tariffed is joining our Discord. And you'll learn interesting things there as per usual. And that's about it for the shilling. How was your week?
It was pretty, I don't know. It wasn't a hard work, but it was a bullshit work. We were doing the shades or shade boxes in the Apple store. And
so a lot of termination of wires and stuff.
No. It was is we were trying to put the metal box into the ceiling, which I had never seen anything this fucking crooked in my life. And we're supposed to be call this, man. And we're supposed to be 1 inch off this little mullion thing that we set as a reference mark.
Yeah.
Where they're gonna do this trim plate to cover the shades coming down and up, right? And the rating, it's kind of insane rating, but there's the pulling force should be rated to up to 400 pounds.
Yeah.
In case the motors fail and the shade unrolls, which I don't see that ever happening unless the shade is already halfway down, right? So most of the weight is off of the roller.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it can accelerate that fast. Like if you just, you're not pulling it like a freaking cord, right?
Yeah, it's not a church bell clock or something.
Yeah, like if the motor fails, it just goes down for probably halfway. Because if the shade is up there, if the motor fails, it just fails dead. It will never unroll again, and it'll never roll back again. So that's another day. So yeah, we spent 1 day on one window. Because you're also working like 20 feet in the air, so skyjack, and then you do this, you do that, you have to come back because this doesn't fit, shames, blah blah. So yeah, that was it.
Do you have like a Canadian version of OSHA that checks if you're like secure to the bucket and that sort of nonsense?
Oh, we have one lady there, but you know what I mean. Like it's she's there. There's 2 different companies that are in Montreal. That ones are like complete freaking right arm up about it, and the other ones just kind of just don't get hurt. So we just don't get hurt.
Yeah, well, it works.
Yeah, it's a shit show, man. So we basically finished the entire store in a week, and today was the last day that I went in the morning to do the. Again, like this is something that like this organization level that like I would just want to shoot the guy. Honestly, he is there the entire time we're fucking struggling with it, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes when we're 4 windows in. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, like the lowest point where you guys should have started is in the corner there."
God, I hate those people. They just stand there,
Joey, by the way, right? Like, fuck off, man. And you're sitting there sipping your goofy ass grande latte, whatever is in the Starbucks cup. And you're looking at us doing this shit, and even comes and asks, like, struggling with it. Fuck. That's the brain damage. It's not really that it's hard, but it's the brain damage of the job. And today was a Makita radio with one dude that was blasting like the hits when they were played when I used to chase chicks, like 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 right after college type of thing, like 2004 to 2010 at the most, like oh, and all rap. So
So
yeah,
are you a
today was.
Barbie girl?
They know it didn't get that pink, but it was definitely not like I'd rather work in a quiet,
Yeah.
because I used to do that. That I used to would bring my own music, right? But then I just kind of gave up on it because you always have to move it. Like if I'm gonna bring something, it's gonna be from BNO, right? So do I really want to bring a $500 Bluetooth Explore in Ferrari red to fucking job site? No, I'm not doing it. So I'm gonna go for sure. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I know the music you mean, but to me it always feels like it's older, like it's sort of from the 90s, but then you look it up and it's like, damn, it was
it's
actually in the
not.
2000s.
Yeah, like it fucking dates you so bad. It was so depressing a little bit, but it is what it is. But you still remember. It's funny how that music just like fucking. I'm standing on a skyjack trying to put a metal screw through the freaking aluminium and whatever shit. And then there's
I'm
the
blue, dabba dee dabba day.
no. It was all rap. It was all rap, and it was like all the old school rap, like good shit. It was really good shit. So it started grooving into it. Oh, for the love of God, I'm 4 years old on a skyjack now, like busting the moves to goofy songs from the 20 freaking years ago.
Well, there's a reason like
Uh,
Dr. Dre and Eminem and whatever were at the Super Bowl. Was it last year or the year before, right? Because 20 years has passed since they were cool. That's usually how the Super Bowl works.
hmm But no, it's crazy how time passes. I don't think do I? No, I used to have Dr. Dre in my CD player, but the Chronic 2000 is just a big weed leaf. It doesn't really have a good appeal in the house as a decor.
Yeah.
So,
It's
you know,
it's not great album art for longevity's sake.
no, that's something that, I guess you would do in Portland or Vancouver, but I would, you can get away with it on a disc one. Just hide it right there
You
behind the
can,
clamper.
yeah, you can maybe get away with it on a Beer Sound 3200 or something like that.
What's with that?
Well, B&O has finally officially started doing what we said they should do since forever. They now have a Second Life
Division.
section.
Okay.
Like in the Netherlands, right? This was normal, but it was like every dealer did it themselves, essentially.
Yes. And it's your headache.
Yeah, but this is well. Also, I mean, people were complaining. Was it last week and the week before that secondhand stuff has gone up like crazy? We know why. They're buying everything up again.
Yep.
It's so it's monthly drops. I mean, I do like the sort of art for it.
hmm
The love on repeat is. I
It's a
mean,
BeoSound one. Little
finally.
shoveler.
Well, I mean, even the love currently here, you can shop it, right? And currently, there is an Edge already in there,
Interesting.
and the Edge is cheaper than a BSM 3000.
What?
Yeah, $300 less. The BSM 3000 is $2,300, and the BSM Edge is $2,000.
Wow.
They
That
probably
is
just
insane.
took them out of rotation, right? Took the warranty off, and they're just still selling new ones.
It could be. The P2 is funny.
Yeah. I mean, the
My
A2s.
sister still has it, and it still works. A2s are fine, but their biggest downfall was the rectangular woofer, the radiator. They cracked in the corners, and then they were shot. Plus, the edges weren't really that smart. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because when you dropped it, even if you got the replacement grill, it still had to clip on shit that was broken off with the first grill. So
Uh,
I
so,
think the burger took its cake properly.
let's see.
So
Let's.
that's good they're doing the the reloved, I guess.
Yeah, let's see. I was on Europe.
So
Oh, it
this is
doesn't.
global.
Uh, doesn't seem like it. Let me.
I wonder who you contact for that. 'Cause
That's what it explains.
I wonder how much would they want for how much would they want on their website for the BioCenter 9000,
It doesn't
the
seem
old
to
school
be
one.
in the North America yet. In
Mm,
North America, it's still like just gift somebody a theater with AIDS, right? Like that's normal.
yeah,
I mean, that's a normal gift to give, right?
I guess to people on a different planet, but not our financial planet. That's for sure.
I just can't fathom.
Like a wedding gift, maybe, but that's pretty brave too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Unless you do like I think you can register for gifts, right? For wedding, you can just register
I mean, it's quite something to
in a B&O
register for. Like,
store.
I want a gift that's what a combined 30 grand or something.
Yeah. Micheloni says I'm still angry for the Atelier program. Nobody would buy orange, green, or pink speakers. It's just silly. It is silly. We've sold back in the day. We've sold one with Atelier, I think, or two Atelier with orange grill, the honey tone, whatever it was.
Yeah,
But I don't know. There's a lot of brave colors in the Atelier, that's for sure. And like whatever podcast it was, I went through all of them that were available at the time as a palette. But that's also not a limitation that you can send your own samples to Denmark and they'll match it, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Because if you're throwing that kind of money, then
I think they will.
hmm
I think. I mean, the whole atelier thing is, I think, more a marketing ploy for if you're going for the upscale people, right? That you can make it whatever you want. I mean, I don't know if they will or not because, like, the standard B&O is quite good as is.
yeah.
I mean, out of the current colors for 50s or 90s, like, would you really need to personalize it more than like just the general color changes? I wouldn't personally, but
That to me, that atelier stuff for like the customization on the website is just more or less a gimmick that you can go and experiment with crazy stuff that you'll never in your entire life end up with.
yeah.
It's like buying a dark purple or some custom color Q5. You'll never get rid of that car, or an A8. You know,
Yeah, this,
it's
the same at God, what was it? Cars had this weird sort of primer color a while ago, right? Like in 2-3 years from now, nobody's gonna want that.
yeah, 50% Barbie girl. Fucking A.
I
Of
mean,
course, Jim, and wacky colors always affect resale values. Like you can tell, even like when I was in the Audi working there, like the yellow and yellow cars were very hard to sell. Also in Calgary or Alberta, the insurance is that if you have a yellow, I think red and green car, anything flashy from the ordinary, your
mhm.
insurance goes higher because there's a very likelihood of people looking at your car going by, so you are more likely to have somebody cause an accident because they're staring at your shit.
Yeah, like red cars are more expensive to insure than like black
Yes,
cars and
red,
stuff like
yellow,
that.
green, and like those baby blues and whatever those playful colors, right? Where the car sticks out of the crowd, and that's a ding in the sack for the insurance.
Yeah,
Red is not that hard to sell, but anything else like yellow, ooh, that's hard. Depends on what yellow. Like I've seen one Audi that was like Lego yellow, like Lego brick yellow color. I'm like, it's cool, but not for me.
well, the two colors around here in Florida you absolutely don't want is a black car or a red car
I
because
got a
they're
black
both
one,
too hot and like your paint gets so
messed
messed
up.
up from being in the sun.
Yeah.
Like no matter what red you have, like because it's next to the UV spectrum, right? Like the clear
Hmm.
coat just comes off after like I don't know,
So
depending on
that
the
is the
brand, 5
logical
to 10
reason
years.
why. Because I was wondering in the Bahamas, all the red cars were fucked up, man. Like the paint was but just on the roof. The
Yes.
sides were fine, more or less, but all the roofs, all the front, the engine trunk cover, whatever you call it, and the trunks, all rotted off.
Yeah, it's because it's next to the
Interesting.
UV spectrum. It just burns it off.
Hmm.
I mean, even older cars in the Netherlands, you could see that if they're parked outside, because everybody parks outside because nobody has garages.
Hmm. Well, and there's no coating you can put on it other than I guess you can coat the car in the white coating. That'll help it.
You can coat it, but you have to do it pretty regularly, right? Because even the coating gets hot and burns off quite quickly. So you have to get like a ceramic coated every 6 to 9 months. But are you really going to do that on a VW Polo or something like that?
No.
I mean, if it's a Ferrari, sure, right? But like, if you drive, I don't know, a 320D BMW, like, who gives a shit?
When I first got involved with my mechanic here in Montreal through Kareem's hookup, whatever friends, uh, I'll never forget when he first time opened my engine bay. His jaw just dropped. He's like, "Cause I don't have any rust on
Yeah,
my car, right? Because we'd use instead will fuck up your windshield and all your paint because we use gravel to sand in Calgary. So the car has never seen salt till sometimes in BC because Vancouver also salts their shit, but there's not that much. But here, Montreal uses 136,000 tons of salt a year, a season, on average.
the water must taste weird.
So yeah, it's a lot of salt, man, and you can see it on the cars. They're just getting eaten away. So and mine's starting to catch rust on the side, and it's sad. But I'm debating if I should repaint. It's like not putting chandelier in a haunted house because car's 10 years old. It's still great condition. Inside is perfect. Everything works. I redid the engine, but like, do I paint it or like, do I have that issue when I move to Florida with the thing just cooking the fuck off my hood? Because I do have a coating on it too, right? So if I'm gonna
Uh,
fix the car and get it painted, do I just paint it white instead?
for here, like it's so noticeable if you have a darker car and you go, I don't know, to Walmart and you come back, like a dark car is so hot so quickly on the inside.
Oh, dude, like when I was in Florida 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, I did bring that, the windshield, the silver cover thing, right? Even with
Yeah.
that, like it is, and I used to put white towels on my seat because if the sun leaned into it just a bit, dude, you could cook on it, man. Very hot.
So yeah,
But
this
yeah,
is
I
how
like
it
the graphics
works.
though. I do like
Yeah.
the graphics.
Well, the nice thing with drawings, right, is that you don't necessarily have these anorexic, angry people
Yes,
because you can make them look like whatever you want.
exactly. No, this works.
So it starts literally with an exchange. You go to your dealer, you bring it, they inspect it, see what's needed, and then they start repairing it and restoring it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was thinking, right, like meticulous inspection, our experts verify authenticity and decide exactly what's needed to bring it back to its best. If you have like a 2300 with the tape deck, right,
Hmm.
like those, those tend to go because I had one and it went, and then we got a new one and that went as well.
Oh yeah, the
And
rubbers go on them. The police.
we had one of the shafts of one of those twisty things break because just it gets
Ooh,
brittle over time. It wasn't even in the
yeah.
sun where it hang, but like those, you can't get those anymore.
Do they 3D print them, or they just? But if they scavenge, then they're scavenging the same age of that product,
Yeah,
or
this is
that
also
material
probably why
rather.
the secondhand market is going up so much, right? Because like if B&O is also scavenging for parts the same way you and I are,
Mm-hmm.
like this is
Wonder
why
how much is the Mark III 9000 CD laser mechanism worth now? Is they still? Well, I'm never gonna sell mine. I just wondered what would be the market value of it now. Probably over $1,000.
yeah, in Europe probably 500-600 euro at least. So
But
in
I'm gonna
Canadian,
keep
that's
it
yeah.
till I'm gonna keep
It
it
is
for
kind of
her.
funny though that they do verify with serial numbers that it's actually originally sold and not stolen in the meantime.
But that's so. It's implausible to prove, really, because if you bought it from somebody that sold it, uh, or you're the person that bought it with the house, it's registered to the first owner. How do they know, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, I
then
guess
let's
it's at
say you
least
said,
not ever listed as stolen, I guess.
I don't even know where would you report the serial
Back in the
number in a
day, when it
B&O.
was stolen, you would call your dealer and give all your serial numbers of everything. I
Well,
know because our
we
house was
usually have
broken
to.
into several times.
It used to be like the ROS was tied in to our the possum was it was called the point of sale system, and that automatically upon transactions would go like you would create. You'd have to make the matching information account, right? So
Yes.
my first last would have to match spelling wise, address spelling wise, and everything's letter to letter, and then it would automatically auto register on ROS, so you could tell what people had. But we also had serial numbers always documented. I still
Yeah.
have all of my old clients that had the Masterlink TVs and 9000s and shit. I still have a file of I think like 30 or 40 PDFs of all their serial numbers and pins, because every now and then they still call, man. I looked at the file the other day. I was 13 years old.
I mean, I'm talking about like my first experience with this was in like 94 or something like that.
Hmm.
Because our house got broken into and they took everything but the Avant 28.
This is heavy as fuck.
Yeah, but all the 8000s and stuff were gone.
Shit.
Yeah, so and then you have to report all the serial numbers and that sort of thing. And then I think we got broken into again in like 96 or 7. And by that
Shit.
time, they left the Avant 32.
There is no way you're moving that too, man. I remember those TVs. Jesus Christ, we had to take one off of the condo in Calgary like years
Yeah.
ago. There's a post on my Instagram with it standing in a very brand new, freshly emptied out garbage bin, construction bin.
Yeah, it's sad.
Fuck, was it a pain to wheel that shit off in there, bro?
They're like 120 kilos or so.
Yeah. Now then, a few months after we threw it out, my friend Nathan, we were talking, and his having a cigar, and over the cigar conversation came out that his brother like got into this hobby of restoring old arcade machines,
Mm-hmm.
and he was looking for the tubes. So I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, I threw it out, man. I would have given him that like the 32-inch Avant tube, like that's some serious. And the tube was fine. It was just this processor that went, and like there is no parts for that anymore, man.
No.
And yeah, so there it went.
I really
Who
hope
the
they
shit.
bring this to the US.
That would be cool. There's not that much BNO here to be traded in as there is in Europe. But I think there'll be much more of a market for it here to buy the refurbs for
Yes.
cheaper than what the current stuff is to get into the brand.
Oh, for sure.
Because it still looks sexy on the wall, man. Like, look, this is from 1996. It still looks great today. 29 years later, I guess.
There's also this weird thing I find that American houses, they get updated a bit, but it's generally only the kitchen. So the living rooms look from whatever era they were built, usually.
Yeah.
Like that sort of stuff, right? Like same with bathrooms. People don't like doing bathrooms, and I understand. I have to do one myself, and it's
a pain.
Fucking daunting to do it, because you're gonna like have to trust your connections in the water lines and sewage and that sort of thing, and you're gonna cover them all up, and you're just gonna go, I hope it doesn't drip. I hope it doesn't drip.
Can you test it before? Run
Sure,
some water down,
but with some calcification and some use, and I mean, it's now turned out that shark bites, right, don't last forever.
What is that?
the sort of PEX connection with the jaws for connecting water lines.
Oh, I could
work.
see that. I could see that though.
Well, it's the vibration and turning the water on and off, like that.
Oh, what is it? The hammer effect.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. So it turns out that those are now not lasting forever. They're now only are. Well, you can use them, but they now say you can only use them for about 5 years or so, and then you should probably replace them.
And it doesn't matter how fast you open the water or close it?
Probably, but are you going to like make everybody in your house do that?
Fucking put a padlock on the goddamn faucets. Opens only click, clack, click, clack. That's it. Yeah. Get enough to hit your first hand wet. That's it. Or so, put one of those push, like in the airplanes you have, you push on the sync button and it just runs for a few minutes. Just a few seconds, I guess.
So, there's all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I'm not that fond of like, what you call it, soldering inside a wall cavity either.
No, that does get a little funky. Like,
hey, I'm here with my blowtorch in a wooden studded wall, like just brazing this shit in.
Oh, I've seen that before, man. I've seen that. I've seen it catch fire too, a little bit. But I don't know. I'm not a plumber, but the bathrooms are daunting. Are you going fancy schmancy, or are you putting a digital fucking
no,
faucet?
Pretty simple, but it will have to move.
Torrential rain. Yeah, you got to gut it. You have 2 bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
Are you putting in-ceiling speakers in it? Thought about it.
No, because most likely if I end up with too many things or like another sound bar, I may just put the M3s in the bathroom, or one of them.
Yeah. Where you have them now?
Her office and the guest bedroom.
Oh.
But if she either gets the stage, if the new sound bar comes out in like 5 weeks.
Yeah, you're gonna be the only place that like I don't have to be BYOBNO. Fuck.
Yes.
No need to carry what is it? Wood to the forest.
Yeah, I mean, I have one of these that I haven't used in a while. If you need to have your own personalized B&O next to you.
Le burger. Yeah, the burger's fun. But yeah, I do like this where they're going with it. I know that I don't know if the salespeople would hate it because it's really like I guess it's going a little bit against the grain. I wonder who is stuck with repairing it, to be honest, because I guess in Europe it doesn't really matter because the shipping isn't that much if you go across countries, right? They have a gathering points where they just.
I mean, it says our experts, right? But like in my experience, and this is mostly in the Netherlands, right? Dealers do a lot of the repairs themselves because they can. And this may be a Dutch dealer thing, but it seems to me Dutch dealers are extremely competent. and they either can themselves do it or they have a tech guy in-house that can repair. I've seen so many dealers still repair BeoVision 7s themselves, right? Like not send it off somewhere. They just do it in-house.
Well, it's still workable on TV. And
Yeah, but
essentially it's a Biosystem 3 in pieces spread out.
like my dealer in Utrecht, right? Like he just repairs all this stuff himself. And he's not some sort of grease monkey. He's just really good at it.
Yeah, you don't really get that because I think what I would chalk it up to is also like the way that the career paths in North America are, that people don't just stick with one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, he is a sales guy, but it's not only sales he does, right? Like,
no, I understand that, but like
yeah,
you seem to be more immersed in the profession that you do for a much longer time in Europe than like most of the people here on average in North America. Because when I like tell people that I've been doing just a podcast for 7 years, like holy fuck, that's a long time. And it's not just the podcast; it's the the working around this product and having just dreaming to own it at one point of life was. This goes now what over 30 years. Well, 29 years, I guess, because it was 1995. No, 30 years this year. When I first time fell in love with B&O, when I saw the Pentas with the Biosystem, I think 5,000 or 5,500. I don't remember what it was anymore.
this is something I kind of wanted to pull for a while. Like, is B&O to your dealer? Like, is it like a career? Like, this is like it's more than a job when it's your career, right? But it's it's sort of a job. Is it a lifestyle, or is it like a true passion, or is it just a job? Because for some it's just a job, right? Like,
well,
if the lights
career
go,
is you show up to work and you do your thing,
but you do your best, and because
and you do
there's
your best.
progression
Yes.
in it, and
And
not
the
just a
second
paycheck.
one was what? The second one was lifestyle. That's to people that never really work on any of it.
Yeah.
Job is, I guess, you show up, you do your thing, and you just stay where you are. And the passion is the people like myself, where I've grown around it, and then I did whatever I could to get to it, and now I know it. But I think to finish the point that I was trying to make is the fact that you can't afford to not know old school B&O if you work with B&O now. Like maybe in 20 years more, yes, but right now it's still, you get into the houses where there's Masterlink with the 9000 and this and that, and you still have to be able to understand how that infrastructure works. It's very simple, but it's very complicated comparatively to nowadays where everything's just on a network and that's it. You need to know one pin out for a network cable to make, and that's that. Where back in the day it was different. There was a Link-I, there was a fucking Masterlink extender and connections, and then there was power links, then there were pucks. Those are still around, and control cables to the TVs, and monitor cable to the TVs, and the actual signal to the TV and power. And it was much more. You have to know much more about a lot of things that B&O were doing back in the day than nowadays, where nowadays these products more or less sell themselves. Everything is software based, everything is serviceable remotely to an extent if there is no hardware failure, right?
Yes.
Once the hardware is done, it's done. So you're driving back to the shop with it.
Well, this whole thing made me think, like, are they going to retrain some people? Because the flagship store in London, right? Like 2/3, if not 90% of the people working there, it was more or less a job. Like these people, like yes, they were trained, but they couldn't really tell you the difference between an 8000 and an 18. Because like when that was opened, right? Like all that stuff was 20 years old. So like there's no real training on it. They probably wouldn't really know what a 7.1 or a 12.1 looked like, or what exactly
even talking about. Fuck.
Yeah, or the difference between a 7.1 or a 7.2, right? Like that's
or a 7.6, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then B&O in all its weirdness having a 7.4 that was like straight up and down in the same family.
The logic of BioLab numbering shall never be questioned. I was told that I think first or second day when we were in Denmark tour the first time. It just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't.
Yeah, because like on a 12-1, right? There is. I mean, how do you tell it's B&O other than that you read the label?
Yeah.
If it's just a job, right? Like that's sort of.
No, the 77 people here can spot the B&O in one frame of a movie.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, like, what is that? It's cloth. It's this weird shape. It doesn't even look like a speaker.
I think this was a grandfather in design inspiration to a product that's coming.
I think so too.
But we'll talk more about that on November 17th.
Oh, the Senate. I'm winking.
So yeah. The cat's been pulled out of the bag already, but we're not gonna make it run around the room.
Well, I mean, there is some stuff that's public because apparently the Chinese have an FCC type website, and B&O filed a bunch of shit there, and apparently it's pretty public. Like, I don't think there's a lot of photos to be seen, as in any, but like names and stuff are out there. I mean, apparently they're doing a centennial version of the 50s as well. So
yeah, I heard about that as well.
I mean, if they change the software on the inside, I would think that is either you have to complete the whole range and make a Mark II, or it's going to be a pain in the ass for B&O and for anybody who owns them.
For what, 50s?
Well, yeah. If they let's say if they Mozartify the centennial or 50s, right?
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna.
I surely hope not. But I saw some people talking about it, and because then you like if you ever have any issues, if you ever go to any forums, right, you're going to get the wrong answers because
Rumor that I've seen and go around is that they're gonna be cheaper than the black regular 50s. I don't know if that's like a giveaway deal for happy 100, but that's where that's where I'm at with it.
I can't.
Which would be a good surprise. I can't see it for the life of me, man. Or they just posted fucked up currency and then put a different letter to it instead of what it was supposed to be. But I don't see them being cheaper. I can't see them being the same price. Other than I did there'd be more money.
Yeah, I can only see them being more.
And there's something else that's coming.
I mean, even in Europe, right? This is good as makes no difference. 70 grand for the black ones. It's like, are you really going to undercut your standard color?
Yeah, I don't think so. But I don't think they're going to be anything fancy. I think there's going to be a different weave of a cloth.
Or maybe some sort of love affair colors or something like that.
Some goofy, maybe a little bit of different hewing on the aluminium.
I mean, I do like those love affair colors, that sort of rose goldish they had. I mean, in 100 years is pretty much a love affair, right?
You should finish up. They should finish up. They should make one like the BeoSound one was the New York edition.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. That I could get behind. And have the same cloth that matches the hewing of the aluminium. I think that would look absolutely spectacular.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I agree. But I mean, we've been saying that for a long time, just like the sort of Second Life thing. I'm glad they finally officially did it, because I never understood, right, why essentially here, like in the US, I mean, trade-in is at best like a few $100, even for relatively new things, right? because there's just no market for it, really. Like if you go to your local dealer now and you say, I have an Eclipse, I want a theater, like, can I trade it in? They either go no, or like $500, right? We'll take it off your hands, but we don't really know what to do with it either, because like we don't want to like mess around with it.
Or just give him a deal on the new or whatever, and then
Yeah,
one
we'll just
of the
move
employees, I mean, you move it, or one of the employees ends up with it. But at some point, how many employees you have, they'll all run out of rooms to put their shit in, right? Like, not everybody's gonna take whatever, as a freebie gift. Personally, I wouldn't be taking no Eclipse home if I was given one. And at this point of time, I don't need any more B&O. I have nowhere to put it. I have 3 fucking storage lockers downstairs in the basement.
but yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's enough. Well, mostly it's just packaging now.
How do you say his name? Shmizloni?
It's Micheloni.
Yeah, if you can buy
I'm
50s
sure
now,
I'm sure I'm correctly pronouncing it.
if you can buy 50s now secondhand, buy them now.
I would.
Because like the price is only going to go up, right? And if B&O is buying back 50s maybe as well, or maybe it's just going to go up, because second-hand prices on 50s have also gone up like crazy, because the new price has gone up. It's I mean, wait, no, I mean, by November, right? It may not, maybe if you like it, maybe if you don't, but you can always resell your secondhand pair that you just bought and buy a new pair, because they're not going to lose any value between now and then. I mean, potentially you can sell them for more than you paid for.
That's usually seems to be, or at least for the same money that you bought it for. Yeah. 50s prices will go up. There's no way.
I mean, I remember when you can get a secondhand pair of 50s for like 19,000 euro. This was in like the first year of them selling, right? Because that meant 30-40% was off of them at that time.
Yeah.
And now if you find a secondhand pair for like, well, in the US it's like 30 to 35, but in Europe it's, I think, 25 to 30. It's yeah, it's,
I don't know. 50s didn't sell 20K on eBay. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'd be buying that kind of stuff on eBay at all. I don't have the crazy in me to buy any B&O really on eBay, and I've done it once or twice, and it was bullshit. And I ended up actually returning the product, and it was a whole fiasco with the eBay and the PayPal, and no way I'm gonna get pregnant with that shit again. So I that's not that I'm going to advise against it or advise for it, but I personally will never buy B&O off of eBay unless it's like some sort of a coaster, the trinkets and paraphernalia and collectibles, but not an act. Like, I wouldn't go and buy a theater on eBay. And I wouldn't trust, even if it had a standard box, I wouldn't trust the guy to pack it correctly, because that flap and the box itself on the theater is substandard to hold that much equipment of that cost. And it's just the manual slide out of the fucking thing, and it's a disaster. It's a shame.
I mean, this is pretty much all the 50s that are for sale right now in the world, because it's not per region. I mean, you can easily spot the low end, right? Like it's about 27.5, which is more than what they were new when they launched in 2017.
How much were they when they came out?
26, either 750 or 950.
So call it 27,000 euros.
Yeah. But it was with oak as well. That was standard at the time, because they didn't have cloth all around yet.
Yeah.
mean, and then it depends on how old are they, and do you still have some warranty left? And that's
Mm,
another thing, right? On eBay, if you buy something like this, you get absolutely fuck all, right? Unless there's factory warranty left, which is highly doubtful for the lower tier prices. But generally, if you buy them second life from a dealer or ex demo or any of that sort of thing, you get like 6 months, or depending on what you agree with them,
mm.
like it's either 3 or 6, or sometimes it's a year. It also depends on your constituency and where you live. Like I think in Europe, over X amount of euro from a dealer, you still have to get like a year or something.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's a gamble. No, it's something that, like, if I were to do that, yes, I would do the transaction on eBay, I guess, because like they got AI developed enough that if you start talking this shit on the email, they'll raise a flag on you that you're trying to buy it without eBay being involved. But I would want to personally inspect them before I would put the money down.
No, Sandy, I know you dealers won't give you these sorts of prices, and I know these are asking prices, but they're all relatively the same, right?
Hmm.
Like just because, I mean, if all asking prices are roughly the same, you're not going to underbid it by $5,000, because the asking price would just be lower.
Yes.
Like you can maybe underbid it by maybe 10%, but that's three less or so, roughly. And dealers have to make money, right? Like they have to pay to take it in. They have to like at least service it and check it, and it's time and hourly wages and all that nonsense.
Plus, it
And
takes up a lot of space if you put it somewhere like before you like until you sell it, you're stuck with it, right?
yeah, and depending again on which country you're in, you may have to pay taxes on it because you have it in your store, right, as a value. And then you're stuck with like, I don't know when these are going to sell.
Hmm.
Like, am I sitting on them for 6 months, or am I sitting on them for 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
Because if you get I don't know, 5 people in that say like, yeah, I'll want 50s, but I really want new ones because, like me, right? Like nobody else has touched this.
Yeah, I never really bought anything from B&O that was secondhand. Now that I think about
Only
it,
old stuff, not
only old
high
stuff,
dollar
yeah. But like,
stuff.
no. The theaters new, 90s. I go ahead from new, 18s I've had from new. The Lab 11 I kind of just inherited into, but and the V1 I had from brand new. So
I'm wondering if new products might be better than 50s. I doubt it. Because they would effectively end the sale of 50s, right? If they made that.
I don't think it would end the sale of 50s. I don't think 50s are going anywhere for a while.
No, but if you made a new product as a B&O that is better than your 50s for less money, right? Like you've ended the sale of them. Because why would you buy 50s at that point?
I think if they're gonna do something, they should do something between the 50s and the 90s, or something that is
Yeah, exactly. But if you have the capability of between 50s and 90s, but the price is below the 50s, right? Why would anybody buy 50s
no,
at that?
I could never see that being priced below 50s though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like if they want to do something that is priced below 50s, it should be a speaker between the 28s, which are okay, to 50s, right? Because it's a huge step between those two.
I mean,
20s could keep up a little bit more with the 50s than the 28s can.
yeah, but they're definitely not better.
No.
So, I mean, Schmisloni or look, if you can afford 90s, go for that. They're the end all and be all, and you never have to buy speakers again, right? But if you know you cannot afford those, 50s are that.
Mhm.
If there's like, if you know you cannot afford 90s ever, right? Like 50s are your end all and be all speaker. There's literally no reason to buy anything else ever again.
Yeah.
Like at least not for fronts or whatever you're using them for.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I run into like a massive deal on 90s, either secondhand or something like that, right? Which it's a non-zero chance, but it's less than 1%. Let's say I can, I don't know, get 90s for selling a set of 50s plus like 10 or 15K. Okay, I'll do that. But that's so unlikely. Like that would literally be a dealer telling me, "Hey, I like you, but these are X demos. Been sitting on them for 5 years. Want to make a deal, and we'll make a YouTube thing or something like that." Which is that's just never going to happen, right?
No, you never know.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, it's 0.5% chance in my lifetime. So I have 2 sets of 50s. I don't foresee myself buying anything as the main speaker ever again, because there's just no need to, unless they like break in 20 years and I literally can't fix them again.
I wouldn't look at it like that. Look at the Lab 5s. Well, now the parts are starting to get scarce. But
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
also,
But that's what I'm saying. In 20 years or so.
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like once I get to Florida, I might order like just 2 suitcases and keep them in storage. Invest another whatever 10 grand or whatever they cost, and just sit on them.
Yeah, that's
Have all
going
these
through my
modules.
mind as well. I mean, it's just
like have at least one suitcase, because then you can rebuild the parts from it. Like you can still order those parts from the dealer till you can't, right?
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, the thing that really like breathe an extra gust of life into like 50s and 90s is the theater. It's external stuff. It's not the speakers themselves.
Yes, the Mozart platform really brings up the life of the speaker to a different level.
But I'm also really, really thankful that that Mozart platform isn't in our speakers.
Yes. I don't see that. I don't see that being necessary. Like, to have. Well, I guess the next speaker, any other speaker that will come out, will have some sort of an interface. I don't know if the sound bar, because I was almost said what the fuck it was called. Was that I didn't see any interface on it, so I don't know if it's gonna have. It's gonna have to have something along the edges, ledges, whatever that is hidden buttons, right? That that secret B&O's touch interface. But yeah, I don't see a speaker come out without that brain inside it anymore.
Well, the reason I'm super happy about it is not to be doom and gloom, but B&O is not exactly teeter-tottering, but they have these weird up and downs, right? And the 50s and 90s are smart enough to be fully adjustable, but dumb enough to not need the mothership.
Mm-hmm.
Like if, I don't know, in 10 years, right, like B&O dies for whatever reason, or I don't know, the new chairman takes, like literally steals the whole bank account, right? Something stupid. Or like Denmark has an earthquake for some apparent reason, something like that. Like the 50s and 90s will just work, right? Because you can control them fully locally. You do not need the app. They
Yeah,
do
if their
not need to
server
call
ever
home.
goes down, yeah, they don't have to call home shit.
Yeah, and they just work. Like the software is mature, it's fine. It's like if you don't even want them on your network, they don't even have to be. Like they just do their thing.
Yeah, I really wonder if this would work through the gateway still the same way. Because if it doesn't ping the B&O server all the time.
Well, whether it does or doesn't, it doesn't impede its function, right?
So Joshua, just get the grace, in my opinion. I'm not a headphone guy on this podcast, but I went listened to the Grace, and they sound absolutely fantastic. Yes, the battery life, I guess, would be dog shit compared to the rest of the headphones for now, but I think maybe they'll fix it with software like they did with the H100s, and a bunch of little quirks and kinks. But uh, if you've been around B&O long enough, you know that everything's perfect out of the bag by looks, not really by function, because that's software dependent, and sometimes you just get lucky or unlucky. I'm not saying it's bad. That's just B&O. It just that's the quirk of that
They don't have
girlfriend,
like
basically.
5,000
Yeah,
people working on software.
yeah. Apple is like now being involved in the store build. I'm completely aware of the fact that they just have a bottomless pit where they pull the money from, because we retards line up and pay $2,000 for their fucking phones, and then you go in and the downtown is, I think it's 80 or 100 something $1 million that they're putting into that store.
I mean,
And
B&O
it's
is, in
just
terms of
unreal.
employees, is what, like 850 to 950 people,
Yeah,
850 to 950 people, somewhere in that
yeah.
area, right? Like it's not on the same level. Apple is enormous compared.
Well, they have way more money and power and everything else, so you can't compare them. But B&O still holds their ground very solid comparatively to what, you know, the
Yeah,
challenges are nowadays, where
yeah.
that never existed back in the days when I used to spin vinyl on the turntable and things, and tape, or yeah, do the Friday night tape sessions when we would tape two tapes, right? Because you share the music, or tape from the CD and whatnot. That was no real logic to it. Most of the stuff was mechanical, but now it's all software based, and you always play the Russian roulette with what router does the client have, and more.
I mean, the Grace is nice. It's just expensive. It's not even necessarily expensive for what it is. It's just expensive, right? It's just a shit ton of money. Like even if they were over ear headphones, like 1,500 or whatever it is, it's not exactly little, or
You're
1,200 in
you're
Europe.
you're
It's
paying for that sound is really what it is. I guess you could say that's still the same thing about the 50s or 90s. Like they're not worth that money to us because we know how much they were to begin with, right?
yeah.
But now it's just like you do pay for the sound that you cannot get from any other speaker on the planet. That's just bar none to me. That's my statement. You can disagree, but I bet you any money if you sat in that white chair and listen to whatever the fuck you listen to for your favorite music, you would also share that opinion as well. Because there is nothing like it.
I mean, like I said, to me, the B&O, like sort of earpiece that goes in your ear, has always fitted way better than AirPods.
My
Uh,
favorite headset was A8s, the wired first generation that they
yeah,
did after the Form 2s. Those were freaking the best.
I mean,
It's just too bad.
I have AirPods and I like them, but they're not exactly my favorite. But I use them the most because of their functionality, really.
Hmm.
But that's it, right? Like if I had that functionality in B&O headphones, then I wouldn't ever think of using Apple.
Yeah, that's fair.
Schmicheloni says, I feel the 8s killed the 28s. Kinda.
They definitely are giving them a very good run for their money, and especially with the placement flexibility, the size versus sound. And yes, you don't have the motorized curtains, but
Well, it's also a much smaller package, and you don't have the full wallop, but you kind of don't want it, I feel, on the 28s. It becomes a bit, they're a bit boomy, whereas the 8s are a bit more natural sounding. And I don't know why they chose to do this, but they did. But like, I
hmm.
mean, they don't, like, the 8s don't have the same output pressures, but it's so close that if you have a sub, which you have the budget for if you're cross shopping them, right? Like, it makes no difference. So yeah, I don't know.
I hope that the DPL gets reliable enough to the point where it actually works. But then again, I'm going off of the complaints of some people, right? You know who you are.
Yeah,
But I don't have one. I don't have DPL speakers in my house. Well, I have an Emerge and a Level, but who cares? Uh, but I'm actually thinking of, because the new software in the core would allow you to do that, right? So
yes.
like you could basically do like a power link output to the Lab 11 and have two DPLs, the emerges. Or could you do like, let's say a pair of I don't know, 18s at the front and two emerges in the back? for quadraphonic, I guess.
Maybe. I have to check that. I don't know about that. But I don't like it would be locked down in software. There wouldn't be a technical limitation on that, like a hardware
Well,
limit.
no, because I'm thinking like if it's the same Mozart, if they're doing the same Mozart chip, then the calculation capabilities and processing capabilities should be the same, right? 1-to-1. It's just how much of it you utilize for a certain speaker. Because I'm sure that if they're using the same chip, then the chip on the fucking Emerge is nowhere near as taxed out as it is on the theater.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like even if it's the same chip, does it run at the same speed and is the heat dissipation the same, right? Because but I don't know. I would assume that it's similar, if not. But they may just limit it in software, right, and not steal a bunch of theater sales, which makes sense.
Sandeep says the dealer swears that 8's connected via TP left some better than WISA. Let's see. Right on, buddy.
I mean,
medium and walnut, that's the best way to do it.
Around my place with all Ubiquity, it's all fine, right? Like like the thing that's actually less reliable is my internet service provider.
Yeah, it's the pipe coming in the house, not the house.
Like Ubiquity is so goddamn rock solid.
Yeah, I don't really have issues. It's a small apartment, but I didn't really pay much attention to the networking in here because it's not worth my time. You know, like I did it in Calgary, but I lived in that apartment for 6 years.
Yeah,
I fucking that was perfect because it was conduit into each room.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I pulled like I think close to 200 meters of Cat 7 there. So if you connect relay with DPL, you cannot use them standalone. No, but why would you don't need to use them standalone? At the end of the day, your My buttons are going to be correlated the same way if you have them as your core would be, right? If you set them up the identical way. So I don't really see a point.
The only reason I would want to use them standalone is to show them off.
Yeah,
but you can just make a listening position with just them in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know which other speaker would you connect to the theater that you would want to use standalone. I don't know. Maybe I'm too B&O out to think that, like the TV or the center always drives everything, right? In my mind.
Like, if you want to stream music to them directly, like even if you have it in the core, BeoConnect core, I think you are able to do I haven't played with it in so long now, that you should be able to do a speaker preset, right? Or listening position.
Yes.
So if you make a listening position for, let's just 8 solo, then you can just tie them into, let's say, if you do Tidal Connect from your phone, streaming or AirPlay, then you can assign that listening position to that particular source by default.
Yeah.
And then it'll always play just the 8s, and whatever the rest you have is ignored. It's a little bit more fiddle fucking, but it's there. It's under sources. But then those are locked in it, so you have to open the app and change it if you wanted to have the woofers and stuff, whatever else you have connected to it. I don't know, Anders.
I mean, I guess if I really wanted to, I could put a core in my 50s and use them that way, but I kind of don't want to. Like, what's the point?
The only thing that I have connected to my 90s is the 9000.
Yeah.
With SPDIF and barely used. And every now and then I'm gonna, maybe when it gets a little more wintry and I have time to sit around home, I'll go downstairs and grab my CD box and just swap the CDs for the sake of swapping them. Did you break off your caps lock button, Ron?
I never worked for B&O ever.
No, I just pretend. I just pretend.
I'm just a customer at the end of the day with a YouTube channel, quite literally.
That's how it started, Ron.
Yeah.
Now we have a whole year to look through now. So Started episode 1. I joined on 4th. Was it? I think it was episode 4.
Yeah.
4 or 3, one of them.
Was it 2018?
Yeah. It was like March 2000 or April 2018.
Yeah.
When
Thank you,
this
Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, good thing you found him. And jumped
I
into
still
the
don't know
damage
how
control.
Nick found us, right? Because we had like a lot of viewers at the time, and it was like 5.
I remember those days when we had just a little bit. I was like, man, there 7 people watching us. That's fucked up.
And then somehow Christian found us as one of the first as well.
Yeah. And then it just goes from there.
Guillermo asks, how does a pair of A9 compare to 8s and 28s? They do compare, but
they don't.
Well, they do and they don't, right? Like what do you want out of it? Because like 8s and 28s will be much more stereo precise in terms of imaging, right?
100%.
But that's partially because the A9 is a stereo speaker by nature, so it angles it wide, like it makes a very wide sound stage.
It's almost 180-degree sound stage on the A9.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, 170, whatever. So they
if
just shoot way too wide.
Well, but that's fine, right? If you don't really like want to sit in one place and listen to music.
We've done it with Karim in the shop. We put 2 A9s together and just like blasted them. I didn't like the sound of them. Like, yes, there was a presence. It was clean, but the definition, like it was too overwashed. You know, right talks over the left too much because it's just the dispersion of that speaker has never been meant. Just because they say you can, it really never means you should, in my opinion. Like that's not the speaker to stereo pair. Balance, yes. BeoSound 2, emerges more or less because
BeoSound 2 is also stereo speaker by nature.
Yes.
Like those mid ranges literally point that way.
And they do play each channel.
Yeah.
Which is a very weird way to do it. Like,
yes.
And then the tweeter's mono. It's a fucking...
And then the bass is mono too.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I mean, the A9 has tweeters in stereo, mid ranges in stereo, and then the bass in mono.
Plus,
one of the strong suits about the A9 is the bass, by the way.
Oh yeah, but it also has backfiring speakers there too. It's got those. I think it's the 2-inch full range. I forget where they're. Were grandfathered from, or actually designed just for that.
I do think you can sort of play with that a bit and how much they play in like your settings and stuff, but I mean, if you do not like, if you just want a second one, right, like and pair them up and have it do, or multi-room it where they both do each other stereo, the multi-rooming is probably better because you'll have a lot of volume and clarity from both ends because they'll be playing exactly the same thing, which is double stereo. It gets a bit wonky when you pair them as a left and a right instead of just a stereo and a stereo. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love an A9, right? Like I had a thought of like, I could see myself having A9s as rears with this whole DPL stuff because it would also look kind of cool on the wall bracket, right?
Yeah.
But they're just not the best speaker to do that with. They're better on their own. But an A9 is really, really good. So how do they compare? Like, I think 8s are, and 28s for that matter, are better as a stereo set because they were meant to be that. Similarly, if you have an 8 as a single point speaker, I think an A9 or even a 28 as a single point speaker, an A9 beats it hands down. Because it wasn't meant to be that, even though it can do that, right? You can technically unstereo pair them and stream whatever you want to listen to one of them. But it's a mono speaker doing stereo without stereo drivers, and it just sounds odd.
Mm. I'm going to read the one from Ron because that's an interesting one.
Odd question for you is is true imaging on the Eclipse same as old Biosystem 4?
Yes and no.
Mostly similar, but there are improvements.
There's also a thing that they took off the microphone from the Avant, because there was a little bit of a difference between the Avant System 4 base and the BioVision 11, and then a V130 or whatever. That doesn't matter because the board is the
Well,
same.
when you ask Biosystem 4, I'm assuming the Biosystem 4 box.
But BioSystem 4 had way less channels to work with than Avant or BV11 because of the WiSA channels that were not available on the BioSystem 4.
Yes, but when the question is like that, that's what I'm thinking, right? But the best of the Biosystem 4s is probably the Avant.
Yes.
And then the BV11, but an Eclipse is better than both of them, though it's better is relative, right? Like it's marginal. They do have some updated sort of speaker profiles, which makes things sound better. But again, it's pretty marginal. It's also much more seamless. And then it depends a bit on what Eclipse are we talking about, Mark 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
So,
BioSystem 4 is not 4K, by the way. So
no.
you need to also understand that or keep in mind, rather.
There definitely is that, because you almost can't buy 1080p anything anymore.
No.
Like, are there still TVs being made that are just full HD? I don't think so.
Oh, I think you'd have to dig back deep down the Walmart aisles, or I don't even know if they have it.
Yeah, because last time I walked to Walmart, right, like even the $500 TVs are all 4K. I mean, they're quite shit, but they are
Maybe
4K in terms of pixels.
pawn shops, maybe, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't know where else you would go to. My cigarillo broke. What the fuck? So, but yeah, there was a time when the Avants used to do that microphone gauging, same thing, but it's so much more quiet compared to what the theater does, and theater is also relatively quiet to how 50s and 90s do it. Those things, fucking referee whistle, man, it's unbelievable. It's loud as hell.
Yeah, and you have to be a lot quieter for the 50s and 90s.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
God, the amount of times I've had the 50s internally tuned and that it heard like a dump truck like 200-300 yards away. And then it's like, it's not quiet enough. Try again later. It's like, damn it.
I usually done my tuning around 10 o'clock at night. I find that's the quietest, even from like the neighbors and stuff, right, going on.
Yeah, around here it's about 2 a.m.
There's nothing worse than like you're trying to tune the speakers and then there's people leaving the other apartment next door to you, saying goodbye. No, like saying goodbyes, leaving a party, and it's like fucking 6 people in. Oh, like Christ, happened to me a few times. It's like 6, 8 people in the hallway. I'm like, fuck. And then, I mean, you're just looking at it like, okay, yeah, poof, yeah, we're hooked. Start over. Thank you.
It's especially annoying when it's in the third row of tuning, right? Because
I've been there.
We have to do the whole goddamn thing again.
I've been there so many times. I've been there with the 90s at the client's house when the nanny, or like on the last whoop, she fucking walks in and started talking to me. I'm like, you bitch, you couldn't have waited 5 more seconds and it would have been done. Yeah, Ron, but so it's not like you invented a hole in a donut with that out. Like you can just do it out of SPDIF instead of. Depends on how you want to do it, really. But yeah, that doesn't matter. That's been a standard workaround even since the times of BeoSystem 3, where we would hang a 4K panel and just rob the audio off of it, which also sucked because you have to go optical to SPDIF converter because none of the TVs have SPDIF outputs. It's all optical, and you just assign it to the AV1 source as a that's it, and you use that with the link high.
Sometimes only Sony and Panasonic have it because it's
Yeah,
their thing, right?
but yeah, that's not a big deal to do. It's a smart idea to do it that way. But you do need a link high to control the BeoSystem 3 or the BeoSystem 4 as well. Unless you have, I don't know what you have in the house, but if you have like Control 4, the drivers are supported there. But you still need the link guide to get into the fucking menu of the BeoSystem 4 to enable it,
Yeah.
which is a customer service menu. So you need a BO4 or BeoRemote 1, whichever one works.
Mr. LDS says, what's your opinion on BeoLab 12.3s with floor stands for fronts and rears attached to the theater as part of surround setup? Thank you in advance. God, I love 12.3s.
Me too, but not on the floor stands. They were never meant. It's an afterthought as fuck. I would rather have them sitting on the wall properly.
You get better sound on the wall.
You get way better sound.
In terms of output, right? They're sort of like 18s, but with a bit more oomph down low.
Yeah.
They are, but like they from memory, 12.3s are rated at like 480 watts or something.
I think so.
And 18s are 320, but a lot of that extra wattage is the impedance of having such a small cabinet.
Well,
So they are more bassy, right? But it doesn't, like, they're not like, what is it, 30% more powerful as they suggest by the wattage numbers. They're like 10% ish more powerful.
Yes.
But you would do best by hanging them on a solid wall, not like a hollow drywall wall. I mean, in terms of looks, right, they're goddamn gorgeous. I love 12.3s. They're amazing speakers, and they don't look like speakers. They're the least speaker-like speaker.
Yes. Just to quickly jump into the chat there, A1s don't stay paired after you turn them off from Bluetooth pairing. I've never seen that happen.
The third gen might.
The third gen might, but the first and second, I know for a fact that you have to repair them again.
Yeah.
You don't have to use the app. You can just hold the Bluetooth for like 10 seconds till it starts flashing white, and then you do the same thing to the other one, and then they're happy. And the left channel is always your primary speaker.
Yeah, also make sure they're fully updated in terms of software and stuff.
Yeah. But those Gen 1s and 2s, they do it through the USB. Don't they? I don't remember. Or am I talking A2 and older? On third gen, yeah, they don't stay paired, and they don't stay paired. They never have before.
I mean, if they stay paired, right, it would drain the battery.
To me, I think what happens, it's a separate Bluetooth connection that is established between the two, and that resets itself. So both speakers are basically available for Bluetooth broadcasts from the phone, whichever one you stream with, right? Because if you have, let's say, two, and let's say you mix them up in your bag, right? If you're going somewhere and you pull them out and you just pull one out because there's no fucking point for two right now, then you need to now, oh shit, it's the secondary to my primary, so now you have to go dig from that one. So therefore they just never stay paired. They all.
Another thing I'm thinking about, which may be a weird thing to say, but how do you turn them off? As in, do you hold them down until they go boop boop, or is it just you click the button once? Because that is standby, right? And if you hold them until they go boop boop, then they're fully off. If so, I don't know if it makes a difference, but I can imagine it does, because standby and hibernate are not the same things.
I didn't even know that it had a hibernate on it.
Well, it's sort of times out, right? It's the same thing. It's just manually time out now. Because if you hold it, you like turn it off, right?
Off.
Like
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm going to put this in a bag. I'm going to use it in, I don't know, tomorrow or whatever, and I'm not going to use any battery. Not that you use a lot in standby, but it's a lot less. So you can try it. I mean, otherwise, I don't know. Come join the Discord, see if anybody else has them. I don't have the 3rd gen, so I can't test it.
I could ask Nathan because he got 2 of them for his nieces, so I'm sure they can stereo pair and see if they. But I don't think they stay stereo paired, because I would have heard through the grapevines about the arguments that one always has to reset hers type of thing, right? So I don't think they stay paired. Yeah, if you turn off one, the other one follows automatically.
Maybe try otherwise turning them off in the app. See if that changes anything compared to like physically on the buttons. Because on the app, right, the off button is a standby command, not an off command.
I'm gonna try it with the Explorer because I'm kind of curious now. Okay, so I'm turning it on. It's gonna go blue. Yeah, tunk. We all heard that, I'm sure.
Don't you have 2 of those? 2 Explorers?
There's 3 of them, but they're 2 of them are packed away because that's my girlfriend's. Okay, so then
because those run on the same as the A1 3rd gen platform.
Okay, so if I go, I don't have a standby button on it. Here, link to Windows.
Huh.
Let's see.
Oh, Joe says the same. That's odd.
Okay, let's go. So there we go. There is nothing here to turn it off. So if I go to this.
Oh, we're not monetized anyway. Who gives a shit?
Okay, so music is playing. So I'll press the standby once. It's still playing. So press and hold. So it's just off. There's no hibernate on this.
Yeah, but you can hold it for longer, right? And then it's like.
Well, then it goes to battery storage mode. Then you're fucked. Then you have to plug it in to turn it on.
Oh.
And there is no. Oops. And there is no. There is no freaking like if I do off this. Okay, let's turn this on. Oh, I can't do that because I'm gonna fuck her up. Because that's all off. So yeah.
Started again on Thursday. Like I literally don't know what's going on, and
it could be a router from the beginning, like the actual router that you have from your.
Yeah, but
ISP.
it's so weird that it's so intermittent, right? Like, when this started like 3 weeks ago, it was almost on the hour every hour, and it was like literally 8 minutes past the hour that it was for like 6 hours in a row. And then that was for 5-6 days. And then last week it was fine until Thursday. Like even last week's show was fine. Like nothing happened.
It's interesting.
And then now it's back again.
And you're hardwired, so it's not like you're using a microwave. Fuck.
No, it just goes off. Like I look at my router and it says first package loss detected, and then the WAN in goes down. I changed cables and everything as well, so like also
boy.
what is supposedly moving right in my attic? Nothing.
You'd hope.
Yeah, so I can only assume that it's on their end.
Maybe you got some Tasty Cat 7 cable that the squirrels chewed through.
Yeah, but why would it be so intermittently?
Maybe they're trying to splice, get their internet. Trying to get their internet, bro. Squirrels need Netflix too. A1 versus Explorer. If they sound better than the A1, you gotta get a pair of. You know what? In my opinion, the biggest difference is the A1 could hold a small party type of thing, where the Explorer is a very, very personal speaker. And it's something that, like, let's say you take it out camping. I think that's something that just keeps that awkward moment of silence around the campfire alive. It's not something that you actively listen to and have a party with. Yes, it can hold its ground a little bit because I've done it with my girlfriend at her mom's house where they had a gathering and they were playing music off the laptop, which my ears were fucking bleeding. So, and I always bring it. So I brought it over, pulled it out of the bag and played it. And, it played on full volume the entire night on one charge with plenty to spare when I got home. So it was that was the only use case that I've ever had for it that was like full volume type of thing. But when we go out to the park, that thing is never like halfway up on the volume, because you keep it close to yourself. And you don't want to be that person that, brings a big fucking boombox and like, make everybody else around you listen to your music. And everybody's got the same taste. And I think the Explorer for that reason is much easier to stomach. It's also stereo in a way, which is kind of fun. But the burger definitely, like I've had nothing but great memories with it in Dominican when we just hung the fucker off of the keyhole from the golf cart and then just drove around the resort, blasting music and drinking. It was great. But other than that, Explorer fits better, believe it or not, because it's more or less like a little can of Coke.
Yeah, it's similar size.
It's a soda can, where the other one is a little more flatter, blah blah. So depends on what bags you use, but most of the bags are designed to fit a water bottle or a soda bottle or a soda can.
I mean, if you really want to travel with sound, get a level. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot more proper sound, right? Like even compared to burgers, because you also don't
And
have
quite
the
honestly, the
issues.
level, yeah, but the level also fits in, like, I have an Oakley backpack, the Icon 3.0 or whatever it is now, but that thing fits in a laptop sleeve.
Sleeve, yeah.
If you buy a bag that accommodates a 17-inch laptop, it will fit inside that. And you have your whole bag still to yourself. But yeah, I used to carry Level around too. Level sounds different, definitely. And the only, I guess, the drawback of it is that if you go into a park somewhere with it, like, you need to expect the fact that you're going to have it laying down because it's not going to stand upright. It'll just sink, into the soil. So I usually would keep it on the blanket, but lay it down. So then it creates that third option of sound bubble versus the stereo when it's upright or mono when it's vertical, right? Mono-ish type of thing.
Over on Twitch, a question: can the booming of 28 be completely removed in the API or will there always be some booming? Yes, you can reduce and or completely remove it, but there is an EQ thing going on in the 28 where it'll always be more bass forward. If you experience that as booming is somewhat personal, it definitely won't be overpowering. Like you can remove it mostly by setting it to like -2 on the bass, and it's completely
Also,
gone.
what's your floor structure is a very important question here
Yeah,
because these
since
are
it's firing
downward
down.
firing. Yeah, if you have concrete, they'll sound better than the wood because the wood does breathe with the bass
You
and it
also have a
picks
lot
up a
less
little bit.
booming because it doesn't like shake or move
It
at
Yeah,
all on
yeah,
a
it's
solid
not as
floor.
rigid. Yeah, it's not as rigid. So
And then
that's
Michel asks, he has 3 sets of 28s. He wants to sell 2 and buy 50s. So 50s front and 28s rear. Would you prefer 28 all around or 50s front, 28s rear? That is a hard one because they don't sound the same.
I would go 2 pairs of 8s and 50s and sell all 3. That would be my way of going about it. Because like if you delete the base performance of the 28s, which they are better than the 8s in a way, but in a true image scenario where nowadays with the Mozart platform it works a little differently, and the bass is somewhat distributed, not equally due to the 50s, but I would go even 3 pairs of 8s, like go stupid like Mikey and put fucking 2 heights and do the rears. But I don't think that the 28s are sonically on par for some reason with the 90s and 28 and the 50s. We've tried it out too. I don't know. I you either keep what you have, or if you're gonna go to 50s, I think I would go with the Lab 8s.
Yeah. Though, like 3 sets of 28s must sound pretty magnificent.
Yeah, I've never heard that. I've never heard that combination. It's a lot of labor to put together fucking 6 speakers, but
I mean,
I'm
28s
sure.
in a vacuum, right, sound pretty amazing. And yes, they're bass forward, but if you have nothing in your room to compare it to, it's not so noticeable. It only becomes very apparent that they're bass forward if you have anything else there.
Yes.
But if you have, I mean, in terms of like a surround sound mode, right, the best thing you can do is have the same speakers around you everywhere. And that's regardless of model, right? Like, let's say you have BeoLab 4s, which I personally kind of hate. But if you have them in the system, the best way to have them is everywhere for every role. Because you never have a change of signature. Oh, with the harmony, 50s and 8s, I would go, but or just keep it as is.
I would keep it as is, man, because then you
Because
have
when
that. You already are used to that sound stage, and it's like I said, even the True Image when it was first in development, uh, Jeff Martin locked himself up in the room with 18 BLF 3s or whatever it was, and spaced them out into the where you can see the spacing in the manual of that document that was published after, and that's the whole point, that you do, if you can, do the equal amount of power on each channel.
yes. And if you have 3 sets of 28s, right, that's what you have. You have like your fronts, your surrounds, and your rears are exactly the same. So it'll be a much more enveloping sound because the sound signature is the same from every corner of your room.
Or sell 1 pair of 28s and put 4 Lab 8s on the ceiling as heights.
Yeah. Though it is a harmony, right? He has it attached to a harmony. So,
yeah.
I mean, a harmony, you kind of only need to surround heights would like. They don't do much as surround or as height fronts.
No.
So with a harmony, because it's a harmony, when I had my 28s, I had 50s up front and 28s rear.
And 18s to the side.
Yeah.
Or no, Lab 3. Did you have Lab 3 then too, back in the day?
Yeah. God, I can look it up in pictures. But the most startling thing to me was the difference in sound signature between 50s and 28s on the harmony. Because on the harmony, you can't tune it as much. Like the speakers are much more themselves. And you can mitigate it a bit. And if you... it then comes down to like what... I take it by having 3 sets of 28s, right? You're more for the movie experience. So
yeah.
If that's your main goal, if you don't really do the like I want pure stereo listening, there's no reason to go to 50s.
No. Yeah, if you're a movie watcher, I would leave it where it is. Maybe get a subwoofer at the rear.
Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, 3 sets of 28 is a magnificent setup, seriously. And yes, it's not the same power as 50s. I understand, but because it's similar everywhere, it's the best you can do beyond going like 3 sets of 50s.
You know what's, now that I think of it, you can't put a subwoofer with the 28s on the Harmony. There's a
Why?
bug in the software.
Still?
I don't know if it was updated or not, but I haven't heard anything back. But they have to be resolved by now. But yeah, there was a bug in the software where any other speaker would work, but if you put it to BeoLab 28s with the subwoofer Lat 19 on whatever YSA power link, doesn't matter. It just fucked the sound up. It went to speaker 3, and Harmony would start playing.
Huh.
And no bass from the sub. Like, it was just, I don't know. It's a weird glitch, man. I don't know what somebody forgot to do, but they did.
That is an ask your dealer question, then.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's been resolved or not. I hope they would have gotten on top of it. But yeah, that's the only thing to consider. But yeah, 3 pairs of 28s, man, you're not hurting. That's a good sound. That's a good sound. With the theater, fudge sticks.
Yeah, your bigger upgrade would be a theater purchase than 50s necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing, right? If you go from a Harmony to a theater, like, then you'll have even your center channel sound like 28s. Not as boomy or bass heavy, but it'll be in line with it.
Yes. Plus, the 28s will sound better than on the ASC platform. There's also the dynamic range unlock that you get with the theater, or the Mozart platform rather, because then the Mozart makes everything sound better, because obviously they've retuned and uploaded the new profiles for speakers, so even the 18s have fucking bass now, which is insane. So
unless you really want 50s, right, then no objection from me, because 50s are magnificent. It's just that your 28s in the back will stand out a bit. I would almost say, like, if you want to keep it simple, then get 18s.
I don't know if you're in love with the mechanical movement or whatever, but I would honestly, if that would be the case, I would more or less consider swapping the Harmony for theater than swapping my speakers, which are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because they're equally matched.
Michelle, you made an impossible question.
You fucked us up, bro. So. I would totally disagree with you, Gerald. BeoLab 28s are a league up from anything via Mozart. Theater does nothing extra to the BeoLab 28s, at least not that I can detect. Then you probably are running the 28s on a listening mode or listening preset on their own stereo in a direct mode with True Image Engine turned off and room compensation deleted. That is the only way that they will sound the way that they sound out of the box, because the theater does a lot of fixing. They don't sound the same from the theater versus alone, stereo paired.
Yeah, also with the theater, you tune it for your listening position, which the 28s internally don't do. They tune it for the rough room.
They
but
read
not
where
for
they
a
are
position
within.
in the room.
Yes.
So, I mean, the theater does something to every speaker that's attached to it.
100%. Even the 90s get fucked with. So that's on YSA without theater. So I don't know what you're talking about. So you have them playing from something else, like a Beo Vision Harmony, I guess, or Avant, I guess.
I mean, if nothing else, the 28s by themselves don't set distances and stuff, right? Like, and
yes.
it gets into latencies and that sort of stuff. So
okay, so you're running them through third party. That's very hard to comment on because you're listening to also sound coming out of a different DAC. If you're not, if I don't know if you, I guess you're doing them on WISA, so it's the DAC in the speaker. But is it A, B? I don't know what you have for room compensation other than room compensation from the speakers, because they do attenuate to the room, but they don't do nowhere near as much magic as the theater would. And I guess silly of us to assume that it was with the theater, because we automatically assume that since it's BeoTalk, people have BNO, but they have BNO and other shit too. So okay, now it's clarified.
I mean, regardless, the sound profile that is in all Beo visions or theaters, right? Like it's different than any other third brand can do because Beo made them. They know exactly how they respond to whatever you throw at them
At whatever volume, yeah.
And that preset is
It's
loaded
mathematically
into,
locked in there too, yeah.
And you can mess it up, right, by putting in a different speaker preset. Like,
yeah, well, that's also a workaround, that if you do Avant, that you don't have the BeoLab 8 software or BeoLab 28 software, because the BeoLab 8 is no longer available for a software upgrade, right? Software update on the Avant. Set them from other, which WISA will find them as other, and put them as BeoLab 17. They have the best sound profile on the BeoLab 17. It's the closest one to them.
Yeah, on a BV10 for 18s, you had to put them as 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the closest thing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, you could get it, but it meant your dealer having to come over and paying for a service call and that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, BV10s, they were updated via laptop manually with freaking RS-232. No, it wasn't even RS-232.
Firewire or something like that.
It was an 9-pin cable that coupled into a master link. No, for BV10s, it was a headphone jack. So it would go into a mono headphone jack or stereo headphone jack, sorry, into the puck one of the TV. And then it goes into a USB to RS-232 converter. And then, so you have all these cables going into the fucking thing.
It's crazy when you think about this old school stuff, right? That literally, like even old modems, the whole like with sound, you could transmit data that something listened to that would then reconvert it to data. It wasn't actually sending files; it was sending sound and or voltage signals and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's so crazy how far we've gone. I remember loading games on Atari with the tape.
Yeah,
with the turbo boost.
Mr. Potato Fries says, how's the plastic controls in the 28 held up? I wish they used glass like the 28. That last part I agree with. Like, that should have been glass, but as long as it's not in direct sunlight its whole life, it's fine.
I haven't heard anything even from Brad in Vancouver so far that any services basically all the B&O for Western Canada.
I've heard about two, but I'm not sure. I'm sure one of them was a factory defect where like the glue was applied wrong and it wasn't caught. Yeah. And one, I don't know if one or the other was the issue. So, I mean, but that's 2 out of how many thousand sold?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, like with 28s and even 8s, kind of, it's sort of similar to the theater, right? Like, very few people actually use it standalone like that. And I know some people will say, I do. Yeah, okay, but you're the exception, not the rule. Because almost everybody attaches them to some sort of harmony, theater, whatever.
The problem with that I have is the fact that it's just a nuisance to clean the thing because you're turning shit on against its will, right?
Yeah. So but also there's like as soon as you have a BeoVision or a theater, there really is no need to use them that way anymore.
Dude, I don't use that panel in the theater at all.
No,
I
I
didn't
almost
even
wish it
use it
wasn't
when I.
there.
Same here. I have no reason for it. Like I just wish it was in the app. Like you just have the Bang& Olufsen logo light up, and I don't care for the rest of it. I don't even care for the volume information because I never get to see it. It's in my app. It's on the Halo. It's in the on the remote, doesn't matter. But if the 90s are playing, I have the volume on the crowns. That's one
Yeah,
thing
and
that
it
sucks
shows
about the
up on the
50s.
panel if you go up. So
Well, but if you just listen into stereo, right? Like if you
yeah,
listen to the theater itself as music, right? I see it on the 90s. You don't have that feedback, which kind of sucks on the 50s that they don't have that circle that you can tell you how much
but the feedback
what
is
volume.
literally how loud I'm hearing it.
But that's exactly what my point is too. That like if it's ooh fuck, it's a little too much. But that's exactly it. Like I just don't. I don't know. I really. It's been 3 years that we've been begging for this feature to be completely disabled and turned off. I don't want it. I never use it. It should be just like the lights off or whatever for the proximity sensor. It should be completely turn offable. I don't care for the level, but level also sometimes gets annoying because if you want to grab it, fucking play starts or whatever. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think halfway through like making the theater, they rethought of what it actually was meant to be, right? Because BeoVision theater is kind of what they meant, but they sort of decided, well, sound bar, but then and
I think they tried it in a way that they were foreseeing a way more use cases with the third party TVs other than the LG, which doesn't really turned out to be a case because everybody that we sell to or buys theater usually gets convinced to buy in an LG screen or they do a trade in or some shit or they move the TV because it just works better.
yes. Again, even at the time, I think I said that that was a daft idea. Like, unless you're really going to support it, but you're going to put so many man hours into this for like literally no return.
Yeah.
Busted says I may be an outlier, but I use it now and then. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Now and then is sort of replaceable by just having an extra remote or another essence or something like that.
Yeah.
I have used it now and then, but
Your cats use it more than you. Fuck.
yes, literally.
But yeah.
And it's I don't know. It's fine to be there, but I would just if it had to be there as a choice, right? Like just wish that in BeoVision mode you could turn it off
Yes.
because there's literally no point for it being on in the first place other than maybe the logo.
And again, the OCD part of it, because if you go there and you touch, like you picked up that ever so slight coating of dust that is on it. Now you have a fingerprint on your My Button one. So it's just, I dust it every now and then, but I keep it. I don't touch it. I do not touch it. And I don't have a reason, honestly. Like if I walk in, the remote control is in that corner, sitting on the wall on the STB bracket. So when I walk into the kitchen, I just go clack and My Button 2, and the TV turns on, turns into the kitchen, the YouTube loads. I'm happy. I don't walk there. And if I walk there, I take the remote with me and I just change from My Button 2 to My Button 4, and the TV moves over, it turns on the surround, and it keeps everything in the same.
Yeah, essence remotes. But
Uh,
please make something like this again.
a room remote or whatever they should call it. But yeah, this is
Well, if we're gonna
definitely,
do the whole reloved thing, sell
yeah.
these. Like get a shit ton of these out there because they still work with everything.
Sigmund's asking, will nothing work if theater have no access to internet? No, it'll work. It'll work. I don't see why not. I think your app may be pissed off about the fact that it can't report to the mothership and see your products. But I think theater with Beo Remote 1 will work without an issue. Unless you want to use the Beo radio and stuff or whatever network services, then you're
No,
just gonna
mine
screw.
worked when I was out of internet.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
When when I was like, I had power, right? But I didn't have any internet, and I could still play stuff from my Plex server. That was fine.
Mm.
Like
So, yeah.
it didn't not work. It's
just I think not possible to not have internet when you're first time setting it up.
yes. Oh, I know it'll work if I like literally in the garage somewhere that fiber is or redone into like what is it RJ45 stuff, right? Like you have one of these boxes because like not many standard routers know what to do with like the light signal.
Yeah.
So you have one of those converter boxes. If I just pull that plug out of there, right? I don't have internet, but I have network. And everything works fine. Like even the app works fine. Like I can control it and set different listening positions and that sort of thing.
Okay.
It's just you're in the dark for a lot of other things. I mean, and it may start screaming at you at some point, like "Where's my connection?" but it works. Like it doesn't stop functioning.
Yeah.
It's more so like if B&O were to ever completely
Disappear.
stop as a company, that it may, I don't know, throw code or something that you cannot fix because you don't have the same access as you do on 50s or 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Or Harmony for that matter, right? Like you can log into a Harmony through its IP address.
Yeah.
Like you don't need the app for a Harmony.
No, because you can pull up the UI directly on the screen.
Yeah. I mean, if B&O for whatever reason goes bust tomorrow, right? I'm buying a secondhand Harmony and using that because then it'll just work forever.
Till the motors die. The lift arms.
Yeah, but then I just jack it up and leave it there.
Leave it open.
Yeah. I mean,
looks good like that.
Still
too.
looks good, so
it looks good both ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that we're completely network dependent, and like the future of things.
Yeah, but
Am
everything is
I
nowadays.
gonna be in near future when I do a pre-wire for a house to pull a fucking network cable to the fridge? I can foresee that happen.
Not just the fridge.
The stove, the fucking microwaves, everything's gonna
Dishwasher,
have a
the washing
dishwasher. Might need.
machine, your laundry, your dryer.
Wow, you just have like a 16 port switch just for your home appliances.
Yeah, everything IoT makes it better, man.
It's silly, man. But especially not to, I guess, divert from the conversation. But the Samsung new fridges, right? They're now confirming that they're pushing ads on those LCD screens.
Of course.
Like I would never buy a fridge with the TV on it. Like back in the day, it was like a cool idea, but now it's just like fuck off. The displays are so cheap that they stuff them into everything now.
I mean, you get the AI, right? Where like there's a camera in your fridge and it tells you what you're low on and that sort of thing, and you can swipe your shopping list to your phone and shit like that because your fridge told you to.
The amount of statistics that is ran outside of your fridge and about your life is unbelievable to power up the algorithms to convince you to buy different shit and whatever else have you. It's not that I'm going to put on a tinfoil hat, but it's something that, come on, like.
I mean, even the LG fridges where like you knock on the glass and the light pops on, right? Like it's all so unnecessary.
But that's kind of a good idea because if you do that, then you don't have to open the fridge to look into it, right? Because I don't know.
Yeah, but surely the glass is less energy efficient than just a regular fridge door, right?
I guess. Or maybe that's the default off and it powers up when you knock on it to make it see-through for that few seconds.
Yeah, but like a glass with like actually foam or a door with actual foam filling, right? Is more energy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the insulation wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a point.
Like you're paying more to cool your food because you want to look in instead of every so often just looking in.
See what else materialized while you weren't looking, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the fridge and pantry looks all the time.
I mean,
Nothing's changed since 3 hours ago, but I'm gonna look again. Fuck.
yeah. I mean, if you really want, if anybody's into fridge talk, right? Look at one of these Viking or Sub-Zero fridges.
Oh, dude, Sub-Zeros I can talk about for a bit. Those are sick.
I agree, but they're also $25,000.
But they're sick.
Yeah.
Actually, the story I have, just on a quick note before we go. Back in 2013, when the floods happened in Calgary, like, all the rich neighborhoods basically got washed the fuck off. And this house that I just finished, literally a month before that flood, the water rose an inch below the countertops. So standard height countertop,
Whoa.
and it's
There's
not just
32 inches, so it came up
yeah,
31 inches.
and it's not just water, man. Like it
Yeah,
was fucking soot and mud about, like, I don't know, good 15 centimeters
your
thick.
sewer is backwashed
Everything, dude.
because it's above your toilet seat.
Everything, dude. Everything came out. And the only thing that they were able to save from that flood was the Sub-Zero fridge, because all of the electronics, compressors, and everything else is mounted above, which also makes sense because the heat rises.
Yeah.
So the fridge has to cool itself less just by default of running by itself. And that was the only thing that got saved. Yes, it had to be severely cleaned, but it still worked. Where everything else was obviously completely lost. But yeah, those are very, very tough and very well
they
built
are
fridges.
quality and they last for 25 years, right? But
Yes.
they are expensive.
Yeah, but if you amortize use of a fridge, and especially like these nowadays new fridges with the bullshit that Wi-Fi, LCD, Bluetooth nonsense that come in there, right? Like, what am I going to have a fridge? And the B&O should make a true image fridge. Fucking, so it's just, it makes no sense, man. And then those things are going to break way faster than the new ones, or the older ones that were dumb ones, or Sub-Zeros. I also like the
Yes.
Smeg, but they're too freaking old school. That looks almost like the 70s garage theme. I don't know if you've seen those.
I like Smeg. It's a nice brand.
It is.
But
Bit
being
pricey,
Viking
but
and Sub-Zero is just
yeah, I know, you don't fuck around. And also Wolf.
yeah.
Wolf stoves are insane, dude. Insane. They're built
It's
that'll
just
outlive you.
yeah, but it's the cost, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm only comfortable buying that if I know I'm not going to move in the next 25, 30 years.
Well, yeah, because you'll never get that cost back from your build
Yeah.
of the house. Yeah, that's just sad. But
Because
that's what it
I
is.
mean, they're that sort of money. It's literally like I don't care. I have so much money, I'll waste it on a fridge. Yeah, literally.
That's it. Well,
yeah, that's it for this week. Go buy yourself a Sub-Zero fridge.
and be cool with it.
It'll make your like 28 seem cheap. So, have a good week, everybody. Love you long time. See you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.